You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Greetings, everyone. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily, episode 1492. This time up, it's an excerpt from the Mary Kitzmiller monthly episode on Horses in the Morning, and Mary answers a listener question about teaching a horse to cross a bridge with confidence. Today's tip is brought to you by Horse and Rider On Demand, the video library that helps you train smarter.
So going along that theme, we have a question from Lorene. It's a really good question. She said, I started doing trail class with her horse Bramble. We lose points going over the bridge. The judge says the horse is hesitating. She says, sometimes I can feel it, sometimes not. We have crossed bridges 100 times and he still hesitates. How can I help him be more confident going over the bridge? And this brings up an interesting point because I have found that there's a divide between people and I think judges on how a horse should cross a bridge. A lot of people think it's totally acceptable and a good sign if the horse lowers his head and maybe it takes just a second to investigate the bridge and then cross over. And, you know, it's good horsemanship for the rider to say, hey, I'm going to allow you to look at this and now we cross. But there are a lot of people who think, okay, my horse should trust me enough that if I tell him to cross it, it's safe and there should be no hesitation. And I've gone back and forth myself on what I think is good. I think, you know, when we're not being judged, and especially if I'm on a young horse, absolutely stop, take some time, you know, have a look at that bridge and then we'll cross. But what's the right thing in the show pen? You know, I can argue good merits for it either way. But if you aren't wanting that hesitation, if it is causing you to lose points in a particular event or association, here's what I do. And I learned this showing Mustangs in a Mustang Makeover because oftentimes when we get to these shows, sometimes the horse was so challenging that this is the first and only time I was able to haul this horse out. And so everything's going to be new and novel to him, no matter how hard I practiced at home. Or maybe we've only practiced natural stained bridges in our shows or at home. And then we go and it's a bright white painted bridge in the show pen. And oh my gosh, that can be totally different to a horse, especially a young green horse. So what I do, I can usually tell because I've had horses do this. I can tell about 100 feet away whether he's going to go over that bridge or not. And I can usually tell okay, this is just not happening and we're going to try, but we're going to tip our hat and leave. But most of the time we can save it. So if I have finished one obstacle, let's say the obstacle before the bridge is I had to open and close the gate. So I open and close my gate. I'm going to start thinking about crossing that bridge, and I'm not going to wait till we get the bridge and then address crossing the bridge. I'm going to be working on getting my horse to extend that walk all the way up to the bridge. And I'm not going to look down at the bridge when we cross. I'm looking to the next point. It's very similar to if you're working on jumps. You don't look down and at that jump, and you don't wait till that horse gets to that jump and then kick him in the sides, because by then you're probably going to have a refusal or it's not going to go well. You are looking to that next. You're looking either to a point on the horizon or to that next jump, and that confidence in you of we're going to that next point can get your horse to kind of come up out of focusing super hardcore, looking down on that bridge and stopping, and it can actually change how he crosses that bridge. So you can feel how they're gonna go if you start really like taking the time to notice and feel your horse out. If he's starting to 50 feet away from that bridge, he's starting to walk kind of real stilted and cautious in his steps. You want to really get that leg on him and push him forward and get that extended walk. And even working on this extended walk at home, get that cue really good to where when I ask with slight pressure, that horse will really stretch those legs out. And if you get that forward, confident, straight, extended walk going, you usually have enough momentum, even if he's a little unsure about the bridge, to carry you across without any hesitation. And it just looks really nice because, obviously the points are for how your horse crosses the bridge, but the whole picture is really what that judge is looking at. And if that judge sees that horse doing this beautiful, confident, extended, sweepy walk, and it just flows right over that bridge, man, that looks like $1,000,000. And when I was coaching youth kids doing the in-hand classes for these Mustang makeovers, the mistakes that I saw that would happen with these kids leading these horses across these obstacles is they would kind of walk the horse up to the obstacle. The horse would stop, and then the kid would go, "Oh, we have a problem." And now they have to use excessive, cues to get the horse to go. Now, maybe I have to swing that rope a little bit, or I have to pull on that halter a little bit. And it makes the picture all muddy. So what I would have those kids do is exactly what I'm telling you, is get that in-hand walk really big and pretty, and start asking them well before the obstacle, encourage them, go forward, go forward, go forward. And that can help save 9 times out of 10 when your horse is feeling some hesitation about that obstacle. Whether crossing a bridge or trying to do a sliding stop, if there's a disconnect, usually it's not the actual thing you're trying to get done. It's one of the parts that goes into making it. So, to me, almost all of your sliding stop or any kind of balance stop comes in how the horse approaches it. If he's bowing his shoulder out this way, or he's behind your leg and not really going forward and true, or he's running through your bit. If he's doing any of those things, don't pull on the reins and ask him to stop, because it's not going to work. You've got to work on that approach. And, same with that bridge. Everything I need to cross the bridge, there's a million little things that have to work. The horse has to be able to go forward. He has to be able to go where I tell him. So he needs to be able to go forward off very gentle cues with my legs. If that's not working, the bridge, we don't need to work on the bridge. We need to work on, okay, let's go forward off my legs. If he's jumping sideways instead of going on the bridge, yes, obviously he's got fear on the bridge and we need to conquer that. But we also need to work on, okay, he's blowing out of my right leg. So let's take him over here and work on side passing and leg yielding and get that button working right. All of those little buttons. And if you get those mechanics working, then the bridge just becomes nothing. It's just a thing in your way as you're walking from point A to point B. And if you work on all those things, you'll start to see less hesitation and trepidation from your horse.
Horse and Rider On Demand allows you to train smarter, not harder. Our training video collection, featuring some of the industry's top Western professionals like Bud Lyon, Cody Crow, Ryan Rushing, and more, can help you perfect your horsemanship and improve your performance in the arena. Get access to hundreds of videos and learn more about events like ranch horse versatility, reining, working cow horse ranch riding, and more for just $14.99 a month. Watch anywhere, anytime. Horse and Rider On Demand can be streamed from any smart device. Visit ondemand.horseandrider.com to start your 7-day free trial. That's ondemand.horseandrider.com.
Well, there you have it. Horse Radio Network has thousands of engaging podcasts for horse people, and you can have them sent right to your phone. Just subscribe via your favorite podcast player. This is Coach Jen, and I will be back again soon with another tip. Until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.